Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful woman named Ada. Ada was married to Mazi Achebe, who also had a second wife named Nkechi. Ada had no child for Mazi Achebe, but his second wife Nkechi had two sons. Ada had been married to Mazi Achebe for 20 years, and her co-wife Nkechi always looked for ways to ridicule her for not having a child. At the slightest opportunity, Nkechi will call Ada names such as barren and also accuse her of being a witch who ate up her own unborn babies. These words pierced the heart of Ada, who believed that the gods had turned their backs on her. Even her husband Achebe never cautioned Nkechi for her actions, and this made Ada feel as though she was all alone on earth. One early morning, Ada wandered into the bush to harm herself. The constant ridicule had become unbearable, and Ada resolved within herself that her life was no longer worth living. She sat on a rock in the bush and began to sing a very sad song when she caught sight of a young man in the bush. The young man was extremely handsome and respectful, and with a gentle voice, the man asked Ada why she seemed so sad. But Ada could not bring herself to narrate the dreadful things that had happened to her to the young man. The man then looked at Ada in pity and stretched out his hands towards her. "Take this, eat, and all your troubles will go away," said the young man, and Ada, out of desperation, took the weird-looking seed from the man's hands and ate. Ada was so desperate to make her problems go away that she did not bother to ask the young man what the seed would do or how it would make her problems disappear. Ada noticed that she felt a whole lot better, so she decided not to harm herself any longer. She thanked the young man and began to head back home. Ada was so famished as she had not eaten all day. She decided to prepare a little food to eat when Nkechi, her co-wife, approached her and began to make trouble. She said countless horrible things to Ada, and this broke Ada's heart as she began to cry and wished that Nkechi would stop speaking forever. The next thing that happened shocked Ada as Nkechi became mute instantly. Her speaking ceased, and the more she struggled to speak, the harder it was for her to utter a word. Ada was in complete shock as she did not understand how this had happened. She then remembered the young man in the bush who gave her a seed to eat that promised to take her problems away. The seed the young man gave her could grant the sincere desires of her heart, but Ada was unaware of this when she wished Nkechi would be mute forever. Ada tried all she could to reverse what she had done to Nkechi, but nothing worked. She quickly rushed back to the bush that night to look for the young man, but she could not find him. This troubled her as she was unaware of how to reverse the effect of what she believed she had done. Their husband heard of what happened and decided to visit the village shrine to consult the gods on what to do about Nkechi. The juju man then told Mazi Achebe that Nkechi brought the calamity upon herself and that only one person can break the curse. The juju man went on to reveal that the person who could break the curse was in his household. Mazi Achebe returned home confused and summoned his wives and children. He told them all to take turns in trying to break the curse placed upon Nkechi. They did all they could, including Ada, but yet Nkechi remained mute. This troubled Ada greatly, and she decided within herself to forgive Nkechi for all her wrongs and to be kind to her, as she believed that her kindness and forgiveness might be the key to breaking the curse. Ada began to do nice things for Nkechi, and this agitated Nkechi further. Who blamed Ada for what had happened to her. One day, Nkechi's son, Obi, fell terribly ill and was at the verge of dying. Nkechi and Mazi Achebe did all they could to make him better, but as each day passed, Obi's health deteriorated. So one night, Nkechi was passing by Ada's hut when she heard Ada crying and wishing that Obi's health was restored. This touched Nkechi's heart as she felt the sincerity in Ada's cries. By morning, Obi miraculously gained his health, and Nkechi was in complete shock and remembered what happened the previous night. Nkechi could not speak, but something moved her to go make peace with Ada. How will I apologize to Ada in my mute state? Thought Nkechi, who was hell-bent on making peace with her co-wife, Ada. She then decided to approach Ada to show her genuine gratitude to her for her son's health. She also knelt down before Ada and began to cry. This touched Ada, who was in total shock at this point. Immediately, Nkechi noticed that her voice had returned. She screamed in excitement and continued to beg Ada for forgiveness. She regretted all she did to Ada in the past and promised never to be wicked and heartless. The curse was lifted as the key to restoring Nkechi's voice was sincere and genuine apology and repentance from Nkechi, and not just the forgiveness of Ada. Ada forgave Nkechi at last, and they became good friends. It was then that Ada announced to everyone that she was pregnant, and everyone, including Nkechi, was overjoyed. The lesson to be learned from this story is that we should be kind to people always. Never look down or mock a person because of what they lack. Learn to be a pillar of strength to people around you, as it costs nothing to be kind. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us grow our channel. I'll see you in our next story. Bye.